Lincoln talked about the fact that he liked hanging out with his dad, but they had a hard time finding stuff the two of them liked doing. They tried doing different stuff together, but it didn't work out until they found the Legends show. They decided to send out a submission alongside a plate of lasagna so they'd get on the show. Luckily, they were accepted, and all dressed up in their orange iguana costume, they left for the Legends show. When they got on the show, they were introduced to the audience. They also had a match in which they would be competing with the Silver Snakes. The Snakes made them know that they'd win the game, but the Louds didn't even care about winning. They just wanted a father and son moment. The contest began, and they started off with their first game, which was crossing the water with water shoes. The Silver Snakes seamlessly won the first game, but the Louds weren't worried about that. They moved on to the next game, which was a quiz session. In this game, the Louds came first, and this made the Silver Snakes angry. Both teams made a deal, and the loser was to dance at the airport naked. They moved over to the next challenge, which was stacking rings on a pole. The Silver Snakes won this section seamlessly, which made the Louds unhappy because they were now competing for something. In the next challenge, the Silver Snakes won it even before the Louds started. The next challenge was filling out the sinking cities, and the Silver Snakes won it again. It came to the final challenge, and they had to retrieve the map to Atlantis. The Silver Snakes also won this challenge, which made them the final winners of the competition. The Louds were happy that they participated in the game. They had to go to the airport and dance in their undies. Surprisingly, the crowds cheered them up, which made the Silver Snakes feel bad. The Loud family had just completed a Rip hardcore show, which Lola described as a weirdo. Lincoln wasn't having it, and he explained that Rip was a pretty cool guy. The parents called on the older siblings to get ready for their open house party, and as they left, Lincoln was left to babysit his little sisters. Lincoln learned that Rip Hardcore was coming to the mall and would be giving out signatures on his new book. Lincoln was happy, and he took all his sisters to the mall. They saw that the line was really long, and his sisters weren't having it. He tried to look for fun activities to keep them busy, and he also got lemonades. While they were on the line, a lady passed by and was happy that her 2-hour wait was worth it. Hearing this, another lady left because she couldn't wait anymore. Lincoln also decided to put his sisters on a ride while he stayed on the line for the signature. The long line reduced until it got to Lincoln's turn. Lincoln was so startled meeting Rip Hardcore. He got his book signed and headed out to pick his sisters, but he couldn't find them. He decided to use Rip Hardcore's book to track his sisters down by following what they loved. He saw Lisa's chemicals and suspected she was around, and after a few steps, he found her. They proceeded to find the others. He saw a disturbance and suspected that Lucy could have caused it, and luckily, he found her around. Next, he saw a princess palace and thought he'd find Lola there. He had a hard time bringing Lola away from there, but they did. They also found a pet shop and thought Luna would be there, and she was, but she had some ducks that had just started to follow her. Lily was the only one remaining, and when a train passed by, they noticed she was still on it. Lincoln offered to give Mrs. Scoots his Rip Hardcore signature in exchange for a ride so he could catch Lily. He got on her ride, and after some turbulence, he got Lily off the train, and they all headed home. When their parents got back, they mentioned Rip Hardcore signing books. Because Lincoln was a big fan, they got one for him. Lincoln wanted to tell his parents what happened earlier, but his sisters covered up for him and showed him the ducklings that followed them home. Lincoln told his family about a contest that would be taking place at the library. The family with the most read books would have an entire night at Spunk E. Pigeons. There, they'd have unlimited pizza and other fun activities. The family headed over to the library in excitement, and Lisa was in a disguise costume because she owed the library. Lincoln asked Lola what she wanted to read, and she showed him a sticker, but Lincoln was worried because there wouldn't be a pizza party unless everyone in the family read at least one book. The whole family was worried, and they had to find a way to get her to read a book. Dad started off by trying to get her to read his cooking recipe, but she didn't seem interested. Luna also tried to get her to read her book, but she refused. She also refused an auto repair book and Lucy's romance book. Lincoln pitched a superhero book to her, but she refused that too. Lincoln thought Lola didn't like their books, so he had to look for one she'd be interested in. He brought the Bossy Twin book because they were first graders just like her, but she refused that as well. He also brought the tea burning etiquette book because she liked burning tea, but she refused that too. After much trial, she finally collected the princess book from Lincoln. The family finished reading, and their score was 260, above every other family. The librarian had to confirm they all read the books by asking each of them a question. Everyone answered correctly until it got to Lola's turn, and she couldn't answer her question. The family was ruled out because each member had to read a book. They had until 5 p.m. before the contest was over. Lincoln still believed in Lola, and he stayed back with her so she could read the book. Lola opened up to Lincoln about the fact that she liked all those interesting books, but she didn't know how to read. Lincoln took it upon himself to help her learn. Lola read very slowly, and time was running out, but Lincoln didn't worry about that. Lola finally finished reading, and she was happy she could now read. The family came back, and Lincoln took the blame for finishing late, but Lola stepped up and explained she couldn't read. The whole family understood, and in excitement, Lisa removed her disguise costume. The librarian chased her as soon as possible because of her debt. The family watched the pigeon show and thought they could smell pizza from the television. It turned out to be Lola making pizza using a recipe because she could now read. They ate the pizza and enjoyed it even more. Lincoln and his friend Clyde were looking for Lincoln's birth story because they were given an assignment to do a report on it. While they searched, Lincoln found his, but the section was blank. Lincoln asked his parents about it, but they gave different answers, and he didn't believe them. Lincoln decided to find the real answers and asked Lori, but she said a scientist brought him home. Lincoln thought the scientist might have created him, and if so, he'd have superpowers. Clyde suggested a field test, and when it failed, they knew it wasn't true. They then asked Lenny, who said he was carried in by an eagle. They tested if he could fly, and when he couldn't, they knew it was false. Another sibling said men in suits brought him home, which Clyde related to an alien story. They tested mind powers, but it failed too. His next siblings said they were happy because they thought he'd be a girl and decorated his room with girl items. Hearing this, Lincoln came up with the theory that his parents switched him at the hospital. They checked birth announcements and traced the families. The first 3 didn't match. At the last house, the parents had white hair like Lincoln, but their child didn't. Lincoln confronted Mr. and Mrs. Loud, and they laughed. They explained everything. Their car broke down on the way to the hospital, the president and first lady helped them, and the first lady delivered the baby. Men in black suits took them home, and the baby was wrapped in an eagle towel. This explained everything his sisters said. Lincoln was excited to tell his class, but his parents said he couldn't because it was top secret. Lincoln hugged his parents, and Clyde cried because he thought it was beautiful.